Beast Runners isn't known for drama. It's a quiet channel, one that invites you to breathe, slow down, and lose yourself in the stillness of mountain trails. No voiceovers, no music, just footsteps, wind, and the sound of nature. But this video felt different. This time, it wasn't just about hiking. It was about someone who never came back. A man had gone missing along the Malinshan Trail in Taiwan, and it had already been 5 days since anyone had seen or heard from him. The only confirmed trace? A blurry clip from a security camera catching him entering the trail around 8 a.m. on the 17th. Alone, backpack on, confident stride. He even shared a quick Instagram story from the trailhead, smiling full of energy, as if he knew exactly where he was going. But somewhere up in those mountains, something changed. Since that last moment of contact, silence took over. No calls, no messages, nothing. And with every passing hour, the worry deepened. The trail he chose wasn't forgiving. No streams, no easy water sources nearby. Just dense, tangled wilderness that tests even the most experienced hikers. Conditions were shifting, becoming harsher, more dangerous. And with each tick of the clock, hope for his safe return started to fade. Determined to find answers, the creator of Beast Runners made a bold choice. He would follow the same path, step by step, watching for any sign, ready to help, or to uncover the truth. Alone, carrying only basic supplies and his camera gear, he set off, fully aware that what lay ahead might be far darker than any scenic view. As he pushed deeper into the trail, the familiar peace of a quiet hike vanished, replaced by a heavy, almost electric tension hanging in the air. The path eventually opened to a small creek, one of the few real chances for water in this unforgiving wilderness. It was the obvious place to search. If the missing man had been injured or running low on strength, this was where he might have gone. When he arrived, the scene was surreal. Hundreds of butterflies swirled through the air, their delicate wings flashing in the sunlight like something out of a dream. Beautiful, yet haunting. But the fragile calm shattered quickly. Hidden just beyond the brush and jagged rocks lay the truth the hiker had been dreading, the man he was searching for. Lifeless, the shock hit hard, but there was no time to hesitate. With quiet respect, he carefully secured the body, anchoring it against the current, making sure nothing would disturb the final resting place. The forest had kept its secret, but the story was far from over.
Whoa. Jerry!
After finding the body, he moved quickly but with care. He built a small signal fire near the creek, hoping the smoke would be visible from above. Then he shared the GPS coordinates with authorities, doing everything he could to mark the spot. But help wouldn't come that day. The area was too remote, too difficult to reach before nightfall. It wasn't until 11 a.m. the next morning that a helicopter arrived to recover the body. At last, the missing hiker was going home, back to the family who had spent days in silence, caught between hope and heartbreak. It's difficult to overstate the weight of that discovery. Without beast runners stepping in, the hiker may never have been found. In a place like Malun Shan, remote, wild, and without a clear trail, the odds were never in his favor. And yet, through quiet persistence and sharp instinct, he succeeded. The outcome wasn't what anyone had hoped for, but it brought something far more important. Closure for a family that had been living in dread. This wasn't a one-time act either. Beast Runners has stepped up before, quietly, without ever seeking praise. Not just a hiker, not just a filmmaker, but someone willing to help when no one else will. In an online world obsessed with spectacle, moments like this stand out, raw, honest, and deeply human. Curious what your thoughts are. Was this bravery or something deeper? Dan from Cursed Urban didn't head out looking for trouble. This was meant to be a quiet night, one driven by curiosity, not fear. The plan was simple: camp on a patch of private land that bordered one of the most infamous sections of the Skinwalker Forest, a place thick with stories and personal memories. The land belonged to his friend Todd, who had given Dan permission to explore it, a favor that had led to several visits over the past year. But this time would be different. It all began like the others: gathering supplies, setting up camp, wrestling with damp gear and uneven ground. He dug a fire pit, pitched the tent, fought with stubborn kindling. Eventually the flames caught, thanks to a dried-out Christmas tree Todd had left behind. But whatever comfort that fire brought, it wouldn't last.
Building this fire, I hope this stuff takes. That's my one worry. It's feeling pretty soft right now. So it's not green, it's dry. But I think from the rain, it kind of, might not be working in our favor. So they could get a good base. I brought a bunch of a big canister of lighter fluid with. I got fire starters, and if all else fails, I did bring my propane fire pit. So if we can't get this started, which you know how much difficulty I have lighting fires,
For a while, the night offered exactly what Dan had hoped for: stillness. Despite the clinging heat and thick air, there was something grounding in the glow of the fire and the steady presence of the trees. It felt familiar, safe even, a quiet pause in a world of unknowns, the kind of moment that reminded him why he ever started exploring the unexplained. But peace never lasts long in places like this. As darkness settled in, the forest seemed to tighten around him. That's when he heard them. Faint voices, drifting just beyond the firelight, distant but clear enough to make his skin prickle. He was no stranger to strange noises in the woods, but these didn't feel like background. They felt close, intentional, watching. Without hesitation, he turned to his gear, scanning, recording, listening, and then it began. One by one, Strange, fragmented voices cut through the static, like whispers from something just out of reach.
Help me in the fire, or if it's too hot, maybe move a tree branch or move a stick or something. Could you do that for me? Daughter. Did I just hear that? Dude, did you guys just hear that?
Hello, why are you here?
I just heard like a howl from over there, but it was like, it was too deep to be a coyote.
That's when things started to shift. Fast, a faint whisper floated through the air, barely there, and then, without warning, the stool beneath him gave way. He hit the ground hard. Maybe it was just bad timing. Maybe not. For a split second, it felt like something unseen had knocked it out from under him. Not clumsy, but deliberate. A message, maybe. A warning. The tension around the campsite thickened. Strange sounds echoed through the trees. Low, drawn-out howls that didn't match anything he'd heard in the area before. Not wolf, not coyote. Something off. Something that raised new questions about what else might be sharing the woods with him. But nothing that night. Nothing compared to what happened just after 3 a.m. Dan had finally managed to lie down, trying to sleep off the unease. Then, out of nowhere, he was pulled awake. A flashlight, flickering, just outside his tent, and someone, or something, holding it.
There's somebody outside my tent.
At first, Dan thought maybe Todd had come by, but a quick call proved otherwise. He wasn't alone out here. Someone had crossed into the campsite uninvited, a stranger walking straight up to his tent. The air shifted, thick with tension. Before Dan could fully process what was happening, the scene turned chilling. He stepped outside and immediately caught a sharp chemical stench, lighter fluid, fresh and strong. Nearby, a bottle lay discarded, and the tent's fabric shimmered, soaked in a wetness that hadn't been there before.
Dude, there's 100. Show yourself now. Holy sh! Yo, you gotta be kidding me. Dude. Whoever this is. What the? Dude, they just sprayed my entire tent down with lighter fluid. And I'm covered in it now. Look at that. They literally sprayed the entire tent down with lighter fluid. And that. Dude, they were gonna light it up. Yo, dude, they were going to light the tent on fire.
Whoever had crept in under the cover of night wasn't just curious. They were ready to set fire to everything. The camp, the gear, maybe even Dan himself. It was a terrifying realization. If Dan hadn't woken up when he did, things could have ended in disaster. The intruder vanished before Dan could get a clear look. Minutes later, Todd arrived, and together they combed the area, then called the police. But like so many real-life horrors, there was no neat ending, no arrests, no leads, just a police report and a haunting reminder of how close disaster came.
I just made it back home. It is very early in the morning. Dude, tonight was a mess. Tonight was a mess. So after the last clip that you guys saw, because I literally dropped my camera on the ground and it shut off, Todd showed up about 2-3 minutes later We looked around, didn't see anybody, called the cops, filed a report. That was basically it. There was no exciting conclusion of the night. Like, we didn't find anybody. We didn't find any evidence of anybody except for, like, what?
What began as a simple night of ghost hunting quickly spiraled into something far darker. This wasn't about spirits or strange noises in the woods. This was a real threat, a stark reminder that sometimes the most frightening part of the paranormal isn't the unknown, but the people who walk quietly among us. Despite all his years of experience, Dan calls this one of the most chilling nights he's ever faced out in the field. But it also changed something in him. It reignited his drive, reminded him why these investigations go beyond just excitement or views. They're about seeking truth, raising awareness, and sometimes just staying alive. What started as a regular travel vlog quickly veered into something far less predictable for Cassie and Bradley. Uploaded on August 15th, 2022, the video documents the couple's road trip through the Yukon, a journey meant to showcase the freedom and challenges of van life. That day, though, the challenges came fast. First, their gas system failed during an unexpected cold snap, leaving them without heat or a way to cook. Then, just as they pulled into a remote fuel stop, they realized they had a flat tire. The station was closed for the night, but the staff offered them a spot to stay until help arrived in the morning. At first, it all felt like typical travel hiccups. Minor setbacks. Nothing more, but that night, things would shift.
We thought, oh, maybe we ran out of gas, but we haven't. So it means it's not lighting. None of the gas is working. We're back in the cold, so we actually need the gas. Not only that, we drove into a tire stop, Integra Tire, they're called, to, what are we doing? Fill up the gas. And then turns out we have a flat tire, which is convenient because we're at a tire shop, but they're closed for the day. So they said we can park overnight here on the premises and they'll fix it in the morning. They say bad things happen in threes, and I'm not looking forward to the third thing. Brad gets to look under in a very dirty ground, see if he can find any issues.
Okay, yes, this is us for the night. I don't know if you can hear that, or if you can see it bubbling out. You can definitely tell she's on her way down, so I'm guessing by morning that'll be flat. So if you look a bit rough.
At first, it just felt like one of those days when everything that can go wrong does. But the real danger didn't show itself until just after midnight. As Cassie and Bradley were settled in for the night, tucked inside their van, someone tried the door handle. At first, it was hard to tell what was going on. They were parked near other RVs and trucks, and a full campground was only a short distance away. They weren't exactly isolated, but that didn't mean they were safe. Things escalated when they noticed a car idling nearby, headlights on, engine running. Inside, a man sat staring at them. When Bradley made eye contact, the man quickly turned away. To them, it didn't look random. It looked like someone was waiting, maybe for a signal, or for someone else hiding just out of sight. The thick bushes surrounding their spot made perfect cover. The theory? Someone had tried to slip into the van and grab whatever they could, fast and quiet. Bradley didn't wait around to find out. He jumped into the driver's seat and they took off. No confrontation, just that lingering feeling that someone had been watching and waiting.
So
there's other RVs like next to us.
Yeah.
There's a massive RV next to us.
Brad jumped in the front literally, and we just started like driving away. Yeah, don't know where the fucker went. Wow. Yeah, so there's like another car sitting, like we were sitting parked up top, and there's another car, and this is actually right outside a campsite. Oh yeah, we're not like in the middle, yeah, of nowhere, as in like, yeah, we are surrounded by other vehicles. But yeah, and I think the plan would have been to take it and then jump in that car that's currently got its lights on sitting there and drive off, because we drove up to that car and the guy made eye contact with Brad but looked away. So, you know, we were gonna
sitting there on his phone. Why would he be sitting there on his phone? He's got the engine running.
Ready to go. Like, it's clearly, why else? It's 12 o'clock at night. Why else would he be sitting there ready to go? You know what I mean? So his friend is hiding somewhere because we're watching the bushes. So there's bushes like right next to where we were parked. So he kind of ran away down the hill. We would have seen it. So the only theory is he's still in there So Brad's on the lookout to watch and see him.
By morning, most of the nerves had worn off. Cassie and Bradley filmed a quick look around to show how close the other campers had been. They hadn't parked in some remote, hidden spot. Others were just a few feet away. Still, that didn't stop someone from trying. They moved on from the gas station with one more cautionary tale added to the trip. A reminder that danger doesn't always come from the places you expect. By the time they made it to Vancouver, things shifted again. The city brought a sense of relief. Normalcy. After days of stress and isolation, even a vegetarian happy hour felt like something worth celebrating. A clean campsite, a working shower. Nothing dramatic, but exactly what they needed.
Campground right there. Yeah, we're all good. I guess lesson learned. But actually slept pretty well considering. I don't know about you, but
I kind of got over it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was pretty tired. But
Yeah.
all the excitement, yeah, got me sleepy.
The only thing was, yeah, the mosquitoes got in. But anyway, yeah, so that was a bit of drama, and now we're doing the very long drive on our way to Vancouver. And
I don't know, we'll do like another 5 or 6 hours.
yeah, it's like, what, how many hours total?
Like 30.
We finally made it to Vancouver. Like, I feel like it's been about 40 hours of driving over the last week. It's just so much driving. I'm so happy that we have made it here. We're actually staying at a campsite because there's not a lot of great overnight parking options within the city. So yeah, figured there's one campsite not too far out.
The trip ended on a quieter note. A walk through Stanley Park, a stop at the local food markets, and a chance to breathe after a turbulent week. There had been highs and lows, moments of beauty, moments of real fear, all of it unforgettable in its own way. But the one that lingered the most was the night someone tried their van door. Sometimes, it's not the big events that leave the biggest mark. It's the ones that almost happened. What do you think really went down that night? This episode comes from Degenerate Wilderness, a newer YouTube channel quickly building a name for itself. Not with perfect drone shots or luxury gear, but through raw, gritty camping trips, terrible weather decisions, and a lovable kind of chaos that makes each video feel like a survival documentary with surprisingly good sound. This time, the adventure kicks off at a place called Rattlesnake in Ohio. Spirits, high. Logic, questionable, but that's exactly what makes it entertaining.
String lights from Amazon. Wetsuits right there. Tarp we're gonna throw up. I just got this note. Which one is it? Nemo something.
Moonlight Elite.
Yeah.
Nemo chair.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. About a pound. Not bad
Very
at all.
expensive though, but
Yeah, real expensive. We just got, all three of us, upgraded our sleeping pads. Because the Amazon ones were not cutting it. Look at that. That's a sleeping pad.
The crew trades jokes about upgraded sleeping pads, Amazon string lights, and ultralight chairs that cost way too much for something that barely holds a grown man. Spirits are high and the storm rolling in. Just background noise, or so they think. Because that playful vibe, it doesn't stick around for long.
Is this the right way?
wait, might be more left.
I think
You're
it's
right.
left. Yeah, I think it's that way. Emergency evacuation.
Evacuation.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
The weather shifts fast, faster than anyone expected. What started as a light warning quickly escalates into get out now level urgency. A basic camping trip flips into a full-on emergency. Winds are gusting over 80 miles per hour, tornado alerts start pinging, and debris begins flying. Still, somehow, half the group is panicking, while the other half is laughing like they're in a bad movie. They make a break for the car, until someone realizes they left the key behind. Just like that, the dumbest mistake becomes the most dangerous one. No one volunteers to go back. No one wants to be alone in that storm. And who could blame them? Trees are bending like rubber. Hail the size of golf balls starts to hammer down, and lightning flashes so bright it feels like daylight, but violent. In the end, they go together. It's the only real option. What follows is a frantic, half-blind sprint through the woods. Mud, rain, wind, it's chaos, and nobody's sure what they'll find when they get back, if anything. Somehow, miraculously, the camp is still there. Battered, soaked, but not destroyed. The string lights survived. The tents are hanging on. Even the firewood made it. It's the kind of aftermath that doesn't feel real, like they walked out of a storm that should have done much worse. Later, they checked the news. 14 people dead in Kentucky. Same storm system. That kind of reality hits harder than any branch ever could. So yeah, sleeping in the car doesn't sound so weak now. This wasn't some cryptid sighting or ghost story, but it was the kind of encounter that reminds you. Nature doesn't need a mask to be terrifying. Let me know what you took from it. Uploaded on July 10th, 2025, this video from Northwest Wind takes us right into the heart of one of Pennsylvania's most active Bigfoot hotspots. After enduring 3 sweltering days camped deep within a remote stretch of sprawling state forest, the creator kicks things off with a blend of sharp sarcasm and genuine sincerity.
Bigfoot zone in Pennsylvania right now, and tonight we are going to try and summon Bigfoot to this campsite. So it's the last night of my trip at this lovely campsite. I've been out here for 3 days. Very moist, tired, flummoxed. We've eaten good, we've slept not good. We are out here in north central PA. I don't want to give away the state forest that I'm in. It's also along a very popular watershed with fishing and recreation and all kinds of stuff. Very, very isolated, but also a very, very big draw. If you're looking for Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings, there's a very big concentration of those in this area. I'm out in Pennsylvania all the time. I've only had one encounter in Pennsylvania where I was not sure what I had encountered. It was something that's a human. It was a noise that I could not explain that sounded very ape-like, like but also from far enough away that I had no semblance of really what it was or what it looked like or how big whatever it was from the top of a ridge in a steep river valley, kind of like one I'm in now. Since I've already been here for 2 days, camp is already set up. I filmed another camp last night. Tent set up, bed stuff. I slept in it last night. I do have some firewood, so we're going to build a nice, delicious, cozy fire tonight. I finally broke down and bought myself a thermocell, and let me tell you, I did not know what I was missing out on. I've put on so much bug spray the past 2 days that I've been out here that literally, like, it was burning my eyes and burning my forehead, and my hands were so moisture, chafing. And it still was not keeping them away. I think it has about a 15-foot radius, and it's working like a charm. I'm not endorsing this product. It's not a product placement. I'm just telling you I bought a thermocell, and it's working pretty good.
The trip served as both an experiment and a playful nod to cryptid lore. The host shares his own take on Bigfoot, embracing the mystery without fully committing either way. As he puts it, Bigfoot is either real or not, and both ideas make sense given how much of north-central Pennsylvania remains unexplored. The campsite was simple but carefully picked, tucked away at the end of a dead-end road, deep within a sprawling state forest covering more than 145,000 acres. This spot is known for a high number of Bigfoot sightings.
Give you a little tour of the campsite. I'm set up over here. It's literally been 92 degrees for the past 3 days out here, so very hard to sleep, very moist. Luckily, I have my USB fan. I did not put my fly on my tent just for breathability's sake. Sleeping with both doors and walls completely open. Last night was absolutely miserable. So it is what it is. I got one more night. We're going to fish again tomorrow and then go home and hopefully hang out with Bigfoot for a few minutes. Nice and secluded campsite though. Got a fire ring, which is nice. I did bring some wood. Gonna collect some little kindling and punky logs, and we're gonna get a fire going after dinner. Got a nice campsite here. We are at the end of this road. The road dead ends right there. We are in a state forest, and I have the truck with me, meaning I'm able to be bougie. I've got power station in there. We've got the Yeti cooler, and we're down at the end of this road, but also down in this little hock down here. So I'm asking all of you. I don't know if I believe cold-hearted truth, fact, 100% in Bigfoot or Sasquatch or some kind of bipedal primate-style creature figure that lives in small populations in desolate rural areas. I see it as being very plausible or possible. I don't say it's impossible because it's definitely not. There's a lot of videos that you could tell are fake. There's a lot of videos and photos that are questionable. And there's a lot that are like, is that real? In my mind, there's only 2 possibilities. Either it's real or it's fake. We haven't explored every square foot of even Pennsylvania, for example, where I am right now. So could it be out there? Yes, I guess.
To boost the chances of an encounter, traditional lures were set out. An apple pierced on a tall tree branch and half a hot dog placed nearby. These offerings, often talked about in cryptid communities, were meant to catch the attention of whatever might be hiding in the woods. Over the course of the night, multiple attempts were made to provoke some kind of reaction.
Throughout the night, including once right before we go lay down. And apparently Bigfoot are very much communicative creatures, so they say, and will communicate with wood knocks. I've heard some things that resemble wood knocks before, but never really attributed them to Bigfoot, so we're going to knock on these trees a couple times and see if we get a response, or see if once we do it a couple more times and we're in our tent, or just once everything becomes quiet, if we hear any in return, or hear any in general. This state forest is 145,000 acres. All mountainy, hilly river valleys. If there's going to be something in Pennsylvania, and there's this many sightings per capita, why would this not be a great place to encounter one? I know this might be a goofy video idea, but I know I'm a goofy person, but I believe that I could possibly believe, so I am trying to take this somewhat serious and do what I have seen and heard works, which is, yeah, an apple and sacrificing food, as well as wood knocks. We're going to clack some rocks together, and we're also going to do some whoops. Do some whoops right now. I'm going to do my own best version. Whoop! Whoop!
Tree knocks, rock clacks, and the classic whoops echoed through the night. While some moments bordered on playful parody, the atmosphere would shift unexpectedly, especially in the early morning hours when something genuinely strange occurred.
Something just startled me up. I don't know what it was that woke me, but I was having deep, vivid dreams. And all of a sudden I was just wide awake, and I heard something that I want to say sounded like wood knocks, very close, maybe a couple 100 yards up the hill, like close though. I thought I heard it once, then I heard it again. Like, go back and watch my wood knocking, that's what it sounded like intentional wood knocking sounds. I haven't heard it since, but it's 100% what it sounded like. Just before 5 a.m. I actually have been sleeping pretty good tonight. I did wake up to pee a few times and heard those knocks. Thought I heard what was, I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise. But nothing that felt anything close to like, it was like but it was like not a 7-foot tall hairy man sound. It's about 5:30. Light enough out right now where I'm just going to get up, bite the bullet. I think just laying here for 40 more minutes-ish until my alarm goes off is not going to do me any good, so we're going to get up and start the day.
Around 5 a.m., after dozing fitfully, the host heard 2 sharp wood knocks, clear, deliberate strikes, not distant echoes or typical wildlife sounds. They matched the knocks he had made earlier in the night. Though fleeting and unverified, the sounds snapped him fully awake. By morning, the atmosphere had taken on an unsettling edge.
Like I said again, I'm going to bet that they're both still there. They're gone. They're both gone. The apple was up there. The hot dog was right here. That gives me the creeps, big time. It's daybreak, and I have more creeps than I did at any point during both of these nights I was out here. Let me see if the apple's down in these bushes, or if something, maybe it fell, maybe something tried to take it and it went down, but I just got like a chill down my spine. So let's be realistic here. Odds are it was a squirrel or a raccoon or something that could easily climb the tree very much stealthily and quietly and took the hot dog or the apple off the branch. But just knowing that they were there, you know, about, I mean, you see how far behind me I was camped, you know, 100 feet, 150 feet, give or take. They were there and now they're not. I was convinced that they would still be there. That
both the apple and hot dog placed in plain sight were gone by morning. While squirrels or raccoons were the most likely suspects, their quiet disappearance added a layer of mystery. The host confessed he felt more unsettled in daylight, staring at the empty spots where his offerings had been, than during the night itself. Though he joked to lighten the mood, there was an honest undertone of curiosity. No clear paranormal event happened, but the strange knocks, the missing food, and the eerie vibe left him wondering, maybe Bigfoot really dropped by, or maybe nature just played a clever trick. The video mixed humor and frustration, but stayed genuine. In the end, no creature was spotted, yet the trip left behind questions, chills, and a campsite missing some midnight snacks. And for the northwest wind, that might be enough. What did you think of this encounter? Uploaded by Grassman58, this solo Bigfoot investigation takes place in Sasquatch Alley, a remote part of the forest known for cryptid sightings. It's spring, and unusually bug-free near a slow-moving creek. To discourage unwanted visitors, Grassman sets up 2 tents. One for sleeping, one for his recording gear, including a zoom recorder and GoPro. He explores the area, noting signs of animal activity and good spots for game cameras. Before bed, he does a single wood knock, a quiet hello to the forest. Around midnight, Grassman wakes to the sound of his vehicle's door handle being jiggled. I was dead tired, but I heard something pulling on the handle and footsteps around the rig. His motion sensor lights also triggered several times during the night.
I was dead tired, so I went to bed around 9 p.m. And my second tent, I have my zoom recorder inside there. So I set up my zoom recorder inside my secondary tent, and I went to bed. Somewhere around midnight, I woke up to hearing what I'm assuming is my door handle on my rig, like somebody was pulling on it, just slightly, you know. And I could hear something walking around, and I kept hearing the door handles jiggle a little bit. I have motion sensor lights set up on my rig, and one pointing in one direction, the other one pointing on the other side of camp. Each one would go off at certain points throughout that time period.
If you're still watching,
And
comment the hidden word dark.
something was walking around. I could hear it. So I slowly, while I was laying down, I slowly, you know, picked up my pistol, laid it down beside me, looked at my watch, and it was about 12:03 when I heard the thing start walking around.
When morning comes, Grassman starts looking for clues. The ground is firm and covered with thick grass, no footprints to be found. His game cameras didn't capture anything useful either. But there is one unsettling sign, a small oily handprint on his car door showing 4 distinct digits. It's not large and it doesn't match his own hand. He hadn't touched that spot recently, and the surface had been cleaned before the trip. He films the print and inspects the rest of the vehicle carefully. No other marks or smudges, just that single, subtle handprint left like a quiet message from the night. The forest doesn't always speak loudly, sometimes it just whispers. What makes this encounter stand out isn't wild excitement or scares, but the calm, almost clinical way Grassman handles it. No theatrics, just a seasoned outdoorsman alone in the woods, facing the unexplained one careful step at a time. He doesn't claim to know what came by, but whatever it was, it watched, it listened, and it left enough evidence to be remembered. On September 12, 2024, the YouTube channel Stay Haunted uploaded this chilling footage. The encounter takes us deep into one of the UK's most notorious paranormal hotspots, Balboy Forest. Ranked among the top 5 most haunted places in the region, it's infamous for poltergeist activity, druidic cults, and mysterious disappearances. Their goal? To find a rumored altar hidden deep within the tangled woods. But once they enter the forest, the atmosphere changes. Fast.
No, I think we need to get up.
Yeah, let's go.
Right, which way we're going? Back the way?
Back the way so we know which way.
Right, back in the forest again. My light's having a meltdown. I don't understand why it's flashing like that. Because it's fully charged. What? Yeah, the trees are all broken. Oh my god. It's crazy. Yeah, my thing's died. Here, fully charged light. And it's dead. What the hell, like? Oh, I don't know what this is doing.
Hold on. We still need to get out there, but we're checking them up where we are.
My torch is dead. Look at this. Fully charged battery, charge of 4 left. And it's dead.
Right. We're here.
Uh-huh.
I want to get to here. So the meat was, we go out here, out this tree line.
Yeah.
And then cut across, there's a big path there, along the water, and then over to this building.
Okay.
And investigate that building, and then the druid altar's maybe up behind it somewhere. Like further up the pathway.
Yeah.
But see, originally what I had planned was we came in here and walk along this path here.
Mm-hmm.
So walk right along that, straight to that.
Yep.
But me and you walked in here and walked way in that middle of the forest.
Jesus, that's crazy.
So we need to find that.
They get lost almost right away. Paths that should be there simply aren't. Trees lie fallen in strange, unnatural patterns. Their torchlight flickers and one fully charged device suddenly dies without warning. The deeper they venture, the more disoriented they become. They mention landmarks, a dam, a river, and an old wall that feel part real, part forgotten. The further in they go, the more it seems like the forest itself is pulling them in, refusing to let them leave. Then they start hearing children's voices over and over again.
The little girl likes you.
Little girl? Have you heard children's voices?
Right here, you know?
Yep, I heard it.
Hello?
Right, everybody, we have now just went in to do an investigation in the pitch black in Ballyboy Forest. We're now hearing stuff. This is crazy. Oh my god, he's seen something moving. There's not many people. Not many people that can say that they've...
See up there where your torch is?
Yeah.
There's like a shadow or something just walked across and moved.
Shadow?
Yeah, like a shadow figure, like dark figure moved across there. Right where your torch is now.
Yeah, there. So, we're going to do a bit of an investigation because we just didn't want to leave. Because we couldn't find, obviously, the altar and everything. But we've had some crazy stuff happen already, like I tell you that. And even on the way here, mad stuff's been happening. So, let's do this and get spooky.
I'm going to set some stuff up.
He's just using the torch here to put the equipment out. Like, look at this here, like, see when I turn round. As always, if you don't believe us, that's what I'm seeing right now. Oh my god. The camera's just like, nope. And a cap all over there. There's a cap all over there. There's a music box. Oh my god. This is crazy. I'm probably going to have a sit down here.
They hear laughing and crying, somewhere out in the dark. Then, a new element creeps in. The sound of music where there should be none. A music box they placed in the forest starts playing on its own. Not just once, but multiple times, often right after they ask for a sign. There's a real feeling that something is toying with them, leading them in circles, mocking their efforts to navigate or record. They mention shadow figures, banging noises, and sensing something just beyond sight. The camera shakes, torches flicker, every step feels risky. Mud, branches, deep puddles, even swampy, quicksand-like terrain. But the moment it shifts from creepy to disturbing is when they find children's clothes. Damp, small, freshly hung on a tree. No one recalls seeing them before. They'd passed this exact spot earlier that night, and there were no clothes then. Yet now they hang there, swaying in the wind like some eerie offering. Panic sets in. They cut the investigation short and rush for the road, only to get lost again. Everything looks the same, everything sounds wrong. It takes 2 hours just to escape. Back in the car, an unsettling silence. They're rattled, confused. The host tries to hold it together for the outro, but admits things got too dark too fast. This place doesn't need to scream to be terrifying. It doesn't chase you, it just waits. And somewhere deep in that forest, they never found the altar, but maybe, somehow it found them. Paranormal Discovery returned to the infamous haunted lake, this time bringing along his loyal dog, Kia. Unlike past visits, the night quickly turned tense and strange, filled with unexplained disturbances. The host starts by sharing an online review from a previous visitor who claimed they were chased away by an unknown figure lurking in the woods.
With me is my dog child. We're gonna go camp out over at the haunted lake there. That's a place where a lot of paranormal stuff goes down. Now, Angelo found a review of some guy. I don't know if this guy was trolling or not, but after our first time coming here, we found a review stating that some guy came and was chased out by someone lurking in the forest here. I have no idea if that's real. Kind of seems weird and odd to me, but it's a legit review. Someone wrote that. I mean, if there is people out here or somebody trying to scare people out, then we're kind of fakey. Anyways, we made it. I've been driving for about 10 to 12 minutes down this dirt path, and we finally just pulled up. I'm maybe like a 10-minute drive up the road from haunted lake. I'm completely by myself. No other human is with me. Angelo, in fact, I'm pretty sure he's back in Ontario as of right now, as I'm speaking, legit. And yeah, it's just me and Kia. So we're gonna take on the spot alone. I mean, I'm gonna drive up there right now, but the weird thing is we know that there is something lurking up in here. I don't know if it's a person, but I do remember when I came with Angelo, we went up to where the haunted lake is located, where the actual haunted stuff goes down. We were just checking it out, but I remember coming back to the campsite and our camp was ransacked. It was looted. Nothing was really taken, like nothing important, but somebody ransacked it. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. We're gonna have to keep an eye out for that. It's Kia's first time here, so what I'm gonna do is drive up to the site, set up the tent, have a little cookout, and yeah, take on the night, because man, it's gonna be another one of those nights, guys, where we don't know what the hell's gonna happen. Kia, you ready? We'll go? We'll go for an adventure. Let's go. We gotta go up. What's up, baby? What's going on? No, we're not walking that way. That's the way back. We gotta go this way.
At first, it sounds unbelievable, but once he arrives, the creeping unease proves otherwise. Still determined, he sets up camp near the infamous lake, a place tied to shadow sightings and strange voices. As he moves deeper into the woods, the heavy, unnatural silence settles in. No insects chirping, no birds singing, just an oppressive stillness that makes the natural sounds feel distant and unreal. His dog Kia, normally quick to react to people or animals, behaves oddly, alert but strangely calm, putting the host on edge. While gathering firewood and cooking, strange sounds begin to echo through the forest.
Okay, so I've been hearing something down there. It's coming from that way now. At first, I thought I heard like a Bigfoot thing down there, but there's something coming from down there. Watch out there, Kiki. We're not going down that way. It's kind of sketchy because I don't want her going down there. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let you go. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Just like that. Okay. Hello?
The whistles at first seem natural, maybe birds, but soon they repeat with a deliberate precision that suggests intent. Before long, they form patterns, calls and response that feel less like wildlife and more like mimicry. The host wonders if these sounds are spiritual or tied to something far more mysterious. He senses a presence lurking just beyond the campsite, watching, maybe even circling. Then, a sharp series of loud claps cuts through the silence, followed by a long, guttural screech that freezes him in place.
Thought I just heard a whistle from behind the camera. It's coming from a haunted lake. The lake is that way. Hello? Oh! What the f was that? What the fuck was that? Holy shit! That was a Bigfoot. Okay, back. No. Come, sit. I kid you not, that was a freaking Bigfoot call. Holy shit. That's not happening. No, that's not happening. That's not happening at all.
This didn't feel like any normal animal, he was sure of it. The sound matched descriptions he'd heard in Bigfoot reports. Deep, drawn out, and way too close for comfort. The pressure starts to build. As the night drags on, something in the atmosphere shifts. The fire offers little comfort. It's like the air itself gets heavier, harder to breathe. He begins to feel drained, as if something unseen is pressing in, trying to make contact, or worse, take hold of him. His skin crawls, and a strange chill cuts straight through him.
Man, I feel... Holy shit. I feel like... As soon as I pulled up and got out, started doing things here, like in this campsite, my energy started being pulled and drained. As of right now, I feel like something spiritual is it's hitting me right now. Like I have goosebumps. I legitimately have goosebumps right now. This is kind of bad. Yeah, you can see the goosebumps on me. Shit, man. Yeah, I have goosebumps, man. It feels like something is doing this to me. I don't know why, but it's trying to get my attention. Wow, sitting here, there is so much spiritual energy coming. So yeah, I could have heard a Bigfoot somewhere, but also right now, there's a lot of spiritual, like passed on people, probably somebody who used the land however hundreds of years ago. Man, I feel like my brain's just sideways right now. I don't know what this is.
He starts to wonder what he's really up against. Is it something spiritual? A creature rooted in myth? Or something that lives in the space where both worlds touch? The sounds intensify, sticks cracking, soft voices on the wind, and that strange whistle again. It's clear now. This isn't in his imagination. Whatever's out there, it's real, and it's close. Then comes the moment that shifts everything. A loud rustle in the brush, something heavy moving just out of sight. Shapes flash through the edges of his flashlight's beam. Then the beam itself starts to flicker, right as something moves again. It feels less like coincidence and more like interference. Still, despite the fear creeping in, he grabs a small saw and steps into the dark. From here on, the tension never lets up. The air feels thick, almost heavy, every breath sharper. He begins spotting something, tall, oddly shaped, lurking just beyond clear view, never rushing, always there. And then, echoing through the trees, a high-pitched screech tears through the stillness. Loud, sharp, inhuman, a call straight out of cryptid folklore. Then silence. Thick and sudden, whatever was stalking the campsite seems to withdraw, but the impact it leaves behind, that sticks. Not wanting to risk Kia's safety or his own, he decides to end the night early. His voice is unsteady as he addresses the camera. Not dramatic, just honest. Something was out there, he says. He felt it, saw enough to know it wasn't just paranoia. Whether it was the same presence from that eerie review, a restless spirit, or a forest legend walking on 2 feet, it made itself known. What makes this episode hit harder isn't just the strangeness, it's how raw and personal it becomes. The sense of being studied, drained, and pushed to your edge by something that doesn't care if you understand it. Paranormal discovery doesn't just chase shadows, it brings them into the light. And this journey into the woods may follow him far longer than the camera ever could. But what do you think really happened out there?